St Lucia National Trust is collaborating with the Nature Conservancy, the Ministry of Forestry and Fisheries, as well as residents of Praslin and Vieux Fort in a Mangrove Management Project for St Lucia. The project commenced on Monday, April 18th, with a week-long training course for ministry officials and a few residents of Praslin and Vieux Fort. Program Officer for the St Lucia National Trust, Craig Henry, says that there are a number of reasons why this project is necessary and why it should be undertaken at this time.
The mangroves in St Lucia have been under intense stress lately due to various activities, and that includes coastal development, primarily coastal development, and as well you have issues such as climate change, where you have variations in water levels and temperature levels, and that affects the ecological balances that would create conditions for them to survive or affect them. So with regards to the National Trust, since we operate within the Point Sab Environmental Protection Area, and we have the Makote mangroves, which is the largest basin mangroves in St Lucia, we have an interest in ensuring that the ecological stability of the mangroves and the surrounding areas is maintained.
Henry continued that the St Lucia National Trust has observed that mangroves on the east and south coast of the island are slowly diminishing and have implemented this project to be better equipped at preserving and restoring the natural habitat.
So what we found recently is that the mangrove has what we call a severe dieback issue, where you have a large portion of the mangrove suffered some kind of dryness, meaning that they have died off. And the reason for that, there's speculation that because of some hydrological processes where you have an imbalance in terms of the water levels and levels of salinity, that would allow the mangroves to propagate normally. That has been interrupted somehow. So we're currently running investigations.
Senior scientist for the Nature Conservancy in the Caribbean, Dr. Steve Schill, is one of the facilitators of the program. He explains the method which will be introduced to detect the state of the mangroves and will allow officials to independently cater to any possible issues in the future.
So using satellite imagery to identify different land cover types for the whole island. And recently I've been here using a drone to map different priority mangrove sites. So we use a drone that flies about 400 feet high, maximum altitude, and we collect high-resolution images. We have a special camera on the bottom of the drone that detects plant stress. It detects how healthy a plant is. And we're able to use that to be able to monitor these mangroves and identify if there's any problems. And we're hoping that the Forestry Department eventually adopts this technology and we train them on how to use it so that they can do regular flyovers of all the priority mangrove sites and monitor them and find out what's going on. If there's any stress, any die-off that's happening, they can detect that early and then take measures to correct it.
As a part of the pilot restoration program for Praslin and Vieux Fort, the National Trust will be conducting mangrove seed collections, establishing a nursery for propagation of seedlings, and later on during the months of June and July, will commence the replanting stage of the project. Giselle Francis, GVD News.